Welcome to Behind the Investigation with Atlanta News First Investigates. I am Sierra Cummings, joined now with Harry Samler. You know, you've got your own little segment, Better Call Harry, and I am sure this person who called you this time is very thankful he did.
You know, they wrote a letter to us. They actually wrote several stations, and we jumped on it as soon as we saw it because it was one of those things that you keep peeling back the layers of an onion on an investigation like this, and you're like, how did this happen? But he parked his car at the airport. It was a business trip, and he flew to Miami. And when he got back, the car was not there. Fortunately, he took a picture of where the car was, so he had proof of where he parked it. Then he looked down, he sees broken glass, so he knows his car was stolen. He makes the claim with the insurance company, with Geico. What happened next just kind of put him on the hook in a situation that he really did not believe he'd ever get out of.
Disbelief, first off. Why would anybody steal my car?
The next time Josh Peresta flies out of town for a week-long business trip, he's taking Uber. On June 8th, Mr. Peresta parked in the South Terminal at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. He took pictures of his Infiniti Q50 so he wouldn't forget where he was parked. Section 17P. Say farewell, Josh. He returned from Miami a week later. You know that feeling when you get into your car to go home? Josh doesn't.
I'm looking at my phone, and I look up. My car's not there. I'm like, huh.
He looked down, and the broken glass confirmed the theft. It's one of 161 reported car thefts this year in parking areas in and around the airport. That's another story. Josh's issue is with his insurer, Geico.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, people like Geico because it's just easy.
He filed a claim and says Geico declared his Infiniti a total loss.
I was like, easy enough.
Or so he thought.
Interior spacious.
On June 29th, Josh replaced his Infiniti with a sporty Audi A4. He sent Geico the Infiniti's keys and celebrated the end. Wait, hold the fireworks. 2 days later, Florida State Patrol spotted his stolen Infiniti near Orlando and made an arrest.
So right now this vehicle, we're confirming it, but it's showing that it's stolen out of Orlando.
At this point, Josh is thinking, not my car anymore, but Geico said it was. It canceled the $35,000 insurance settlement, which meant Josh got stuck with 2 cars and 2 car payments.
That doesn't include the loss of sleep. I mean, the stress it's caused me. I can't sleep at night. I'm constantly preoccupied about this.
Can you blame him? He returned the keys, but Geico sent them back. Josh went back and forth with Geico for 2.5 months and decided to call us. Atlanta News First Investigates.
You could save hundreds on car insurance.
Geico got on it. It took possession of the stolen car and went back to the original settlement offer for $35,000 plus another $2,000 for the extra car payments. The end? Now for the finale. Josh disputed the value of the car and Geico agreed. The new total payout, $39,500. The end.
You were stressed. The fact that this happened as quickly as it did once we get involved, how did that feel?
It felt amazing. Atlanta News First really knocked it out of the park.
Wow. So not only is he on the hook for 2 different payments, but it seems like police, local police, Atlanta Police Department could be investigating. What's the status? What do we know, Harry?
You know, we did get a copy of the police report, and, you know, where it goes from here, I don't know. I mean, this is another why we do these behind the scenes things, because police in Florida, the Florida State Patrol, actually stopped this individual and arrested him and detained him, and then ended up letting him go because they couldn't connect the current driver with the actual theft. So they may have had the person who stole the car. Some people actually commented online when they saw the car in Florida. Wow. It had a dealer's tag on it, not a new car tag. like they hadn't got it, the temporary is
Got
what I
it,
meant to
yeah.
say. So people were wondering, hey, was this person also a victim? And no, we really don't know. I think they were thinking that was the guy who stole the car. But there was an even bigger story here that we're still kind of looking into, and that's how many cars have been stolen this year at the airport.
Do you know how many?
It was like what? It was over 160 if you
Wow.
look at all of the surrounding areas. Don't hold me to that number, Sarah. But no, it
But
was
a larger number, more than just a few.
it was close. It was close to that, and it wasn't just when we pulled the numbers. You can actually go on the APD's website, Atlanta Police Department, and you go to their statistics crimes and you can narrow it down. So we looked at all of the parking lots in the area around the airport. Some of these cars were stolen, where people were changing cars at the airport. You get out and walk away from your car and somebody jumps in, but a lot of it were in parking decks and then the surrounding lots. I think that's a whole other.
It's a whole other story, but you feel really awful for the person who's just going away on their trip, whether it's for a wedding or something traumatic in the family. Then you come back, and on top of everything else, you don't have a car. That's really frustrating. But it seems like APD is being tight-lipped about their ongoing investigation. We know you'll stay on top of it. I want to get the Geico perspective in all of this. We know you reached out. What did they say?
Well, as you saw, as soon as I said Geico, it was one of the quickest resolutions ever. Sometimes we have to fight for weeks,
Yeah.
sometimes months, and we end up doing 2-3 stories. This was literally contacting Geico, and I got to give it to them. The excellent media relations department. Every major company has one, and I think they saw what had happened here, and that okay, yeah, we totaled the car, we sent them the paperwork. They actually lost the keys, according to the car's owner, and then they found the keys. I mean, it was just like so much going on, but they resolved it. They gave him his money back. They took possession of the stolen car, so they still got a nice car that they probably sent off to auction. He bought the new car and he's very happy with it.
We love a story with resolution, but we also know you're the man with the plan. So anybody listening or watching, what are the takeaways for them?
You know what? I think the most important takeaway is don't rush out and buy a new car before, if you have payments on your old car, if you've got a balance on the loan, before it's paid off.
Yeah.
In this case, the reason he did it like a couple days later is because he used to work in the car industry, and a buddy of his worked at a dealership and said, hey, man, I've got this Audi A4. You want it? And he's like, yeah. And he had already signed the paperwork, but the check hadn't been sent out. So that would be my biggest takeaway. Before you sign off on the deal, even if you sign off on the deal, wait for your loan to be paid, because no matter what, that loan you're responsible for. Just because you've settled with the insurance company, no. You've got a loan with whatever bank or with whatever lender that you have your car financed with. They're going to hold you to it until that loan is paid off.
Well, and life is too expensive right now. We don't need to double our bills.
Oh, no.
Great advice, Harry, and great reporting. You've been watching and listening to Behind the Investigation with Atlanta News First Investigations. Be sure to watch and listen wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for joining us.
Bye, guys.